I'm trying to show y'all a different angle of my place to let you know she real cute, okay? Like me. Okay, we're not gonna get into that. Hey y'all, it's your girl Atavia, and thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. I don't know why I'm doing the most right now. Hi y'all, it's your girl Atavia. Thank you guys for coming back to my channel and wanting to see my face again for some reason. Do your business. I'm not here to judge, okay? If you're wondering why I have one arm right now, it's because I'm holding up my laptop. Today is gonna be a long video. A long one. It's gonna be a long one.
That's what she said.
Y'all have been blowing up my DMs. Y'all have been blowing up whatever you can blow up, my comments. How did I find a place in Paris? What did you do? All that. So I'm gonna give you all the information that I've got over the past year of searching, going through crappy Facebook groups that have no housing, that are useless, going through crappy websites that are just straight up scams, and I'm gonna tell you guys how I finally found my place in Paris. Paris is a place that is well known for being absolutely trash when it comes to finding a place if you're not a French person. So I want to tell you guys the resources I found very useful and all the information you're most likely to need if you want to rent an apartment in Paris. Wow, that was a lot. I know. Strap on your seatbelt buckles, because here we go, y'all. So anything I mentioned in this video will be also in my blog. If you miss anything, if you miss any information, I'll leave the link to my blog posts down below so you can just read it and be able to refer back to it easier than watching a full video. Where do we start? Where do we start? Paris, stop. That's where we're gonna start. Paris, stop being so difficult for people who are not French. You're an international city, honey. You don't have to make it difficult for the internationals. Are y'all ready for the truth? Okay. All right. I believe ultimately, me finding my place was painless because COVID happened at the exact time I decided I was ready to start the apartment search again. The basic thing you need to rent in Paris is this thing called a dossier. Okay, la dossier, un dossier. If you contact apartments, they're gonna ask you for it even before they get up and show you their apartment. They're not gonna waste their time if you do not have a complete dossier. Now, I'll be honest, when I first started the search, I was like, hold on, you wanna see my files before I've seen the place? You straight up trying to scam me that you think I'm that dumb? You're not gonna steal my identity and get all the non-money that I don't have.
I ain't got no money.
But in fact, it is not a scam. It is a legit thing. Places here, landlords here, want to see your complete file before they will even show you their apartment. Now, here's what they usually want from a file, at least in my experience, what I've seen: a work contract. That's the first thing they want to see from you. Now, this is where I start to throw y'all loopholes, okay? So if you're a student in Paris, they will be kind of lenient on you having a work contract. For example, me, I am renting my place as a student. I am enrolled in language courses, but I'm hinting at you guys, if you are a student, are you listening? If you are a student in a French school, some places won't require you to have a French work contract. I've heard it a lot harder for people who are foreign workers. Like, even if they have a lot of income, they still want to see that you're somehow connected and committed to being in France. They also want to see your IBAN, however you say it. It's a French bank account number. I don't know if they accept all European bank account numbers, but they basically want to see that you, again, are committed to being in France. Now, this is where it starts to not make sense. In order to get a French bank account, you need a French apartment. Are you tracking with me? But in order to get a French apartment, you need a French bank account.
I am confusion.
I don't know if it's all of France that's like this, but Paris, she a little backwards. I've heard it's kind of difficult for foreign people. I got lucky, and when I was an au pair, my host family opened a bank account for me, so I just kept it open, and that's what helped me with that situation. Places might excuse the other things, but where they will go hard on is having a French garant. It's a garant, okay? If you're from the US, it's similar to having a co-signer, except once again, this garant has to be French.
Oh, god damn it!
Now, if you're gonna get real creative, if you have some kind of boo, some kind of spouse, some kind of Tinder date that just so happens to be French and they can vouch for you, this is where all your connections are gonna come in handy. Paris is a city where connections might save you a month or two of stress, but there are some resources that can act as your guarantor in France, and I'm gonna share it with you. The website that I used is called Garant Me, which basically Garant Me acts as your French guarantor. So you send them your documents, send them your school enrollment or your work contract, and they will act as a French guarantor. There's also another service called Visal or Viscal, I don't know how to say it, which is a similar thing, but Visal is directly through the French government. I think Viscal is even free, I'm not sure. Garant Me, you're gonna pay per year. There's like a standard fee per year, but for me it was very worth it. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up, and also I know y'all have been asking for an apartment tour. If this video gets to 40 likes, I'll do a full apartment tour for y'all. We can do it, y'all. We in the home stretch, we almost at 1K. We can do 40 likes. I know 40 of y'all are watching. Click the thumbs up button. Now, in my experience, Garant Me seemed to be more acceptable than Visal. Not a lot of people knew what Visal was. Some people are very stubborn and won't even accept these services that are very reputable and just want a French guarantor. So just because you have these services do not guarantee you to be eligible for all the apartments in Paris. In some cases, some landlords want to see your last tax documents or your last 3 pay statements. Now, I say that this is kind of optional because not all people ask for it, and when I explained my situation, people were kind of flexible on it, but you just have to message the person and see if they're flexible with it. All right, now I'll give you guys some websites that I found helpful, some Facebook groups that are actually responsive, so you have a better chance of actually finding an apartment. I got this apartment from BookAFlat. BookAFlat. It is an agency that's more directed towards foreigners, so they speak English, they speak different languages, but of course going through an agency that's geared towards foreigners, you are going to pay a little bit more than going directly through, I guess, a landlord. So you really have to decide if it's worth it. For me, it was worth it to not risk getting a place with a sketchy landlord who gonna try to rent me a bed with piss stains on it,
oh my god,
and 1 coffee table, and charge me $1,200. Another website I suggest, which is similar to BookAFlat, is lodgis.com. Another one similar to that is newyorkhabitat. All 3 of these are more directed toward foreigners, so they're going to come with their own agency fees and all that. You might want to set up a search alert on a website like Lawyer Agile. You're going to want to look on pap.fr. That's pap.fr. I didn't mention the other websites I mentioned, the 3 that are geared towards foreigners. You rent furnished apartments. The next few, sometimes they're furnished, sometimes they're not. It varies. Fusac.fr. It's like a French Craigslist, but a lot calmer. I mean, there is Craigslist in Paris, but Craigslist in Paris is a waste of time. It's basically pretty much all scams on there. Honestly, I'm trying to help y'all. There's a lot of scams out here, a lot of scammers. Be careful. Le Bon Coin. Okay, that's also a good website. 2 Facebook groups I found helpful. Casa Housing Paris. I will say, every day, this is also part of renting in Paris. Every single day, there's an ambulance. Like, how often do y'all get hurt in Paris? Y'all clumsy?
oh I'm hurt.
I was gonna say, Casa Housing is a Facebook group also geared towards foreigners. They actually don't require you to have a French guarantor at all, and they're a lot more flexible on what they need from you to rent I think they're very foreigner friendly, but I also think that their places are very expensive for the size. And also, one of my favorite Facebook groups, which I've seen a lot of awesome apartments on, and I kind of discovered it right after I already signed the lease with this place, but it's called Plan Apart. They have two Facebook groups. One is more like general apartments, and then one is privatized. And I'm recommending the privatized one because you have less competition of people who are finding places in Paris, and it's only €9 and you get a lot of really cute apartments, so I think it's worth it. It's really a place that tests your patience, and it's not for everyone. Don't be afraid to use Airbnb, whether that's for just renting an Airbnb for a few months while you're on the ground looking for apartments, because you are going to need to come and see the apartments in person, or just having a long-term stay in Airbnb. There are a lot of Airbnbs in Paris, a lot of good ones, and honestly, sometimes they can be cheaper than finding a place. Also, agencies can be your friend. At first, I was very against agencies because I'm like, I'm not gonna pay you guys extra money. Why would I pay more money when I don't have to? But I ended up going to an agency, and honestly, they don't cost that much more. And last thing I can say to you guys is do not be afraid of the suburbs. Paris has some great suburbs that are easily accessible by metro. Since Paris is such a public transportation forward city, if it's more important to you to have space, or more important to you to have a cheaper place, I would say look at the suburbs. There are some great suburbs like Seine, Charenton-le-Point. The French double L gets me. Boulogne, Billancourt, Boulogne, Billancourt. That's a good area as well, but honestly, the center of Paris is expensive. If you have a smaller budget, go in the outer arrondissements, okay? Sometimes the 16th, I've seen a lot of cheap places, even though the 16th is considered bougie. I've seen a lot of cheap places in the 16th.
Because nobody wants to be over there because it's very boring and it's just suburban with a lot of families.
The 17th, I've seen cheaper places, the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. For the price that my place is, if I would have went to an arrondissement like the 18th or the 19th, I could have got the balcony that I wanted or the one-bedroom apartment that I wanted. Really, just be flexible and don't settle. Apartments here go very fast, and you're probably going to contact a lot of apartments and then a lot more and not get a lot of responses. Just be patient and you will get your Parisian apartment. That was totally a ting moment. So if I was speaking too fast, or you just need a source of the information, you can click that link in the description box and you'll get all the information I mentioned in this video. So if you guys didn't subscribe earlier, you now have another chance. Are you ready? I mean, I asked y'all to subscribe earlier when I was looking cute, but now you got this face because you waited. So go ahead and subscribe, because I can do this all day. Alright y'all, so that's all I have for this week's video. I hope this information was helpful. I hope you found some new tips, and until next week, bye y'all.